everybody, it's Kathy Champion and you're back with me in my craft room at Random Acts of Crafting, and welcome in. I know everybody is in a rush for the Christmas season, but I thought I would take a break from Christmas because we have been had an onslaught of Christmas videos lately. Everybody is doing Christmas, so I thought I was going to come on and show you some techniques that you can do to make your own pattern paper. And I want to show you a piece that I made. This was a piece of white cardstock, and I basically used, well, not basically, I used this stamp set, and let me put something behind it so you can see it. This is called Sweet Wishes, and I used, as you can see, the cupcake and the candle, and that's all I used, the cupcake and the candle, and I made this beautiful birthday paper. Now I can cut this down into several card fronts and some strips that I could use on other cards. I basically just stamped this in a Memento ink, black, and I went back using my Nuvo markers and I colored it. So this right here gives me a full sheet of paper, and it was nothing more than a white sheet of paper. So that is an idea on how you can make your own. I also want to show you, and I brought in just some scrap pieces of different colored papers, and I want to show you some ways that you can stamp color on color. One of the ways, and I'm going to trim some of these down, so as I'm making them, these are going to be card bases that I will use at other times on projects. So I'm going to cut this down to 4 by 5 1/4 standard size mat for an A2 card. So we got that one cut down. Let's see what this one is. Okay, let's cut this one down. And this is just another technique that you can use. Say you're, really wanting to make a card, but you don't have the paper that you would like. Get creative and make your own. There is nothing wrong with making your own pattern paper. So that gives us 2, and I'm going to lay these over here as I cut them. See, this one looks like it might be just about what we need, 5 1/4. I just need to take a little scant 1/4 of an inch off of that, and the same way here. And this is a great way to use up your scraps if you have hit that crafting lull where you just don't know what to do. And you need something to kind of, I guess, fuel your creativity. Sometimes doing something like this can be just the ticket. So, grab some stamp sets, grab some scrap pieces of paper, cut them down into card fronts, and just, go with it and see what you can come up with. You'll be surprised how doing something like this will really help you become a little more creative and just kind of get you out of that slump. We all get in a crafting slump. I know I do. I'm pretty sure y'all do. That's already at 4. So 5 1/4. And there's no harm in being in a slump. We all go there. I think this is already it's 4 1/4. So this is actually, it was a card base, but we're going to make it a card front. And 5 1/4. And I think we can get one more out of here. 5 1/4. Now I've got some of these scraps over here. I'm going to keep these pieces that are this size. I'm going to keep. The little tiny pieces I'm not going to keep. I might keep that little piece. So I'm going to throw those in my scrap drawer. And let's get to stamping. I think I'm going to bring this mat up, and let's see. I'm going to get some inks. Now I'm going to start off with the pink, and I'm going to grab my pink ink, and let's just see how this is going to look, the pink on pink. I pulled out some stamp sets. I'm going to move these card bases back over here so I can work from my right. This right here is called Relic, and this is a background builder type stamp set. And if you have any of these types of stamps that just have designs on them, this is a great stamp set to use with making background papers. And I'll show you why I say that in just a minute. Let me grab some stamp blocks. Now this is a great time to have more than one stamp block, and I'll show you why. I'm going to grab off some of my Fiskars. Y'all know I love these Fiskars stamp. I love those stamps. So I'm gonna load this one up on here, and maybe this one. I'm going to grab about 4 of these. I like that little splat. That one's cute. And let's grab this one. Might need a bigger, I need a bigger stamp block for that one. So let's grab this one. And maybe let's do one more. I think I can probably get 2 of these on this one. And now we're going to prepare to stamp. So I'm just going to rub that off, make sure that I don't have any debris on there. And I'm going to go ahead and ink this one up. And I am going to move this. I was thinking I would stamp on this, but because I'm going to be stamping on and off of my paper, my ink is going to get all over my mat, and I really don't want it on that because it's a little bit harder to clean up. So we're just going to go right here, stamp in that corner, and look at that texture. And I'm just going to go here and there, no rhyme or reason for what I'm doing. You might even want to do secondhand stamping, which, is where you stamp and then stamp again. Okay, so I'm going to get my little cleaning tool. I am going to go ahead and put some squeaky clean down on here because I do want to kind of clean these off as I go. Because we're going to come back and use these again. So I do want them to be clean as we go. So now I'm going to grab the smaller one, and I'm just going to splat it here and there. And as you can see, this can be so much fun because you really don't have a rhyme or reason for what you're doing. And sometimes it's nice to not have to think, but just stamp. And I love this. I love doing these because of that reason. Now I am going to get a wet wipe. And the reason I'm going to do that is I do want to clean up this ink so I don't get it in my hand. And y'all do know that I will definitely be putting my hand in it if it's on my work surface. I'm sure y'all know that about me by now. Oops. Let me dry this off, because when I laid my paper in it, did you see it curl up? And it was just barely damp. But that's the nature of paper. So, alright, I'm going to grab this one. This is a bigger one. And I'm going to come in like right there. Oops. And maybe right here. Maybe another one right about there. And I'm going to go ahead and clean this one off. And I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fill in with these two smaller ones. So I'm going to arrange these a little bit different on my stamp block, put them a little closer together. Then I'm just going to go in to places like that that looks a little empty. And we're just going to fill in. And you may want to go back with just one and put some more little spots in there. And there you have it. There is a beautiful piece of cardstock that you can use on a card that gives you some pattern. And I'm going to lay this one over here and let it dry. And we are going to move on to our next one. Because they don't always have to be the relic stamp set. You can do it in other things. You can do it in words. Words are beautiful on these types of card fronts. And making your own paper gives you the opportunity to make your card totally yours without depending on somebody else's paper, which I think is wonderful. Now I'm going to do this black, and you know with black I love to do it with white, but I think this time I might go with a blue. I love black, blue on black, and I think I am going to grab, let's grab a really pretty blue. Let's see how this one would look. I think that's a little too dark. What I'm doing is I'm just pulling in my VersaFine Clair inks, and I'm going to use this one. This is Paradise. This is a beautiful color of blue, and I think I'm hoping it's going to show up good on here. I don't know, but you know what? We're going to find out. Now let me go ahead and put these stamps up real quick so we don't have, I need my stamp blocks for one thing. So let's get these put up. And I've got ink on that from some other time that I was doing this. I love doing this. This is probably one of my favorite ways to just sit down and just do something that's, you really don't have to think about, you just do it, and that's always fun. I'm going to take these off and lay them here so I can figure out which one goes where. I never did use this one, but that's okay. We may come back to this stamp set, who knows. But let's go ahead and get these loaded on, back onto our stamp set paper. And then this one goes right here. And I'm missing one. Okay, where is my one? I'm sure it's stuck to something, because y'all know how these stamps, the stamps will do. They will stick to something you don't want them to, and then you're looking for them and can't find them. Does that ever happen to y'all? Okay, we'll look for this one in a few minutes. Oh, there it is. It's on there. It's stuck to another stamp. Like I said, we always find them. Well, most of the time we find them. I am still, y'all know my story about looking for baby Jesus. I am still looking for baby Jesus. Okay, I got this Babbles and Bling. And I thought this would be a cute one to do. And I am going to try this one doing ornaments. Let's do some different ornaments on here. Now, I thought we was going to stay away from Christmas, but we're not. This one has a lot of different little elements that we can put on our card. So I'm just going to grab a few of these off like that, and maybe even that one. And look at that, you can tell which ones of these stamps I've used, because the darker ones, which you can clearly see, are dark, but these two right here you cannot see. But this is stamp sets. I have not used those before, so that this should be very interesting. So let's get one on there, one on here. Oops. Okay. And I need stamp blocks for these. Let's see what else I've got down here. And I have other stamp blocks. I just don't always like to use them because I love my Fiskars so much. But we're gonna step outside the box today, and I'm gonna grab these other ones, and we're gonna stamp off on this one now. I'm gonna start off with my bigger images, and I'm gonna go ahead and ink this up really well. And what I am hoping for in doing this is that I am going to spark somebody's creativity. And let's see how that's very faint, but it is on there. Okay, let's grab a different one. Let's try this little one. And you can always go back if you feel like you need to put more color into it. You can go back and add some color. Nothing says you can't. This is your creation, so you can do it however you see fit. So let's clean that off, and we'll set that right there. While I was away and was not doing videos, I missed all of you so much. I know that y'all see me. I don't see you, but I read your comments and your encouraging words. And I just want to tell each and every one of you how important that is to me and how important you are to me. And as we embark on our new year that's coming up, I am so excited with my business, my challenges that lies ahead of me, and I just thank y'all for being here and coming along with me on my ride. Y'all make this possible, because without you, what would I be doing? I would have no audience. So y'all are my audience. You are the reason I do what I do, and I just want to let you know that I love you dearly, and I am so happy that I can be a part of your lives, and that you are definitely a part of mine. So thank y'all so much. And I just want you to know that that heartfelt thanks comes from the bottom of my heart. So there we go. Now this one is very subtle, but look at that. I love the way that looks. You really don't see the blue, but you do see the bling of the Christmas balls and the little candy wrappers and the little stars that's in there. I do like that. I think it turned out really well. So we're going to set this one over here. And now let's do something. I want to do words. I really want to do something with words. So let's grab, I bought this stamp set at Tuesday Mornings, just not too very long ago. It's fairly new stamp. I still have the paper that it came in, so that, and I haven't put my piece on the top of it. So let's do one, and let's do it. Let's grab Love. Now these are acrylic stamps, and how do I know that? These are much flimsier. They are see what I mean? The photopolymer doesn't have that feel. So you can use the acrylic stamps. Don't get me wrong, they are fine. They're fine stamps to have in your stash, but they do stamp different. And for me, I love my photopolymer. They're always beautiful stamps. But if you come across a set of words like this, and it was really a good price, I don't remember what I paid for them, but you know, when you find something at a really good price, sometimes we can't, we just cannot pass it up. So this was definitely one of those. So I'm pulling off Dream. You know what, I'm just going to take this off, and we'll worry about putting it back on later. I got Believe and Hope and Love and Dream, and I'm going to pull off a couple of these little swirlies, and we are going to try doing something. I think with this one I'm going to do a contrast. I'm going to do something a little darker on a lighter paper, maybe. Okay, so let's see how this is going to work out. And I do need to put my Babbles and Bling back up. This is a little time consuming when you start putting these little pieces back up, but I would encourage you to always do this so you don't lose your stamps. There's nothing worse than losing a stamp from a stamp set that you cherish. Believe me, I speak from experience when I say that, because y'all all know that I have lost stamps that way. Let's see which ones will fit where. Okay, Love fits on that one. I think Believe is going to have to go on a bigger one. Dream needs to go on a bigger one. I think this one can go on this one. And Hope. And allow me to grab a sip of water. Alright, that is much better. My mouth was getting so dry from talking and not taking the time to get a drink, so thank you so much. I think I'm going to use the purple, and on this one I'm just going to go with my my Versafine Onyx Black, and we are going to let's do our words first. Let's do Dream. Oh, that's stamped very pretty. I'm very impressed with the way that's stamped. So like I said, you know, sometimes just because the stamps are a little cheaper, it doesn't mean that they're bad stamps. These are excellent. It really surprised me. So I'm going to put a little curly Q maybe under the Dream. let's try hope. And I'm going to turn my paper because I want these words to look like they are just scattered throughout the paper. There goes my Toby. Okay, here's believe. We're going to put believe right here. And we got love. I'm going to go ahead and stamp love a few times on here. And let's do a couple of our little curly cues. Here's another one that we haven't used. I'm just going to put these down over here and there. And we're going to come back with dream. I want another dream like right about here. And maybe coming off of the page there. And maybe right there. We're going to do believe. And this one's going to go like right there. And maybe here. And I want to get my little curly cue thing again. And I think I want this one. And I'm going to put one going off the page right there. And I got a mess here with ink, so I'm just going to wipe this up a little bit, just so I don't make a mess of my card. Dry this off. And can y'all see how relaxing this can be? Just making these little pieces of your own art. That's what I like to call them. And they are just, I think they're gorgeous. I love the way this is turning out. So, yeah, grab your stamps and your ink and some pieces of scrap paper. This was all scrap paper that I had. And now I have these beautiful card fronts that I can use on some cards. I'm going to go back with love. I never have too much love. So I'm going to put a love right there. And maybe the there, and maybe the L right here, and I think that's done. I really think that that is perfect like it is. So I'm just scrubbing off my stamps so that they'll be clean. Let's lift this up and clean off our surface. I'm also going to bring you a full tutorial on embossing. All of the different ways to emboss, because embossing can be one of the most confusing things, especially to new crafters, and I want to try to fully explain and teach you all of the different techniques of embossing. So be on the lookout for that video, because that is definitely one of my up and coming videos. And that's something starting the first of the year that I really want to do, is I want to teach techniques, because I think that a lot of us, once we learn a technique, our creativity just goes through the roof, because we can do so much. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these stamps off and put them back on my sheet. And I'm so sorry that I'm having to film putting these all back, but I didn't want to stop and start my camera over and over, so I just decided to bring y'all along, and I hope you don't mind. So, and love and hope. And is that all of them? I think that was all of them. Alright, and we will worry about putting that back when we finish. Let's see what other colors we have. Alright, we have this green. Now, I have done this green before using the relic, but I'll tell you what, let's do something a little different. Let's not do the green yet. Let's do this, and we're going to do this in the birthday. And I'm going to do this one a little different than I did the other one. I love this birthday, and I'm going to put lots of hugs and have a fabulous birthday. We are going to do a candle and a star. And do we want to do the cupcake, or do we want to do the balloon? I think we're going to do the balloon. Let's try that and see how this is going to turn out. Alright, we need the larger stamp for the balloon. I like to load all my stamps up prior to actually doing this. It just works so much better for me to do it like this. Okay. Alright, on this one I am going to do, let's try our Nouveau hybrid ink. See how this looks on. I think it will be festive. Let's try it and see. Now, this ink is advertised to be a hybrid ink, which means you can use this for your water-based markers like your Tombows, and you can also use it with your alcohol markers. So this is supposed to be a good ink for both. I like that. That's pretty. I'm going to put quite a few candles on here. I knew that if this was my card, it would have a lot of candles on it. Okay, I'm going to stop with that, and I think I'm going to go ahead and ink up my balloon. And we're going to get a few balloons in here, maybe one right there, and maybe one right here. And right there. And let's have one coming off of the page right here. This is what makes this, when you do the on and off the page, it really does make your paper look beautiful. So let's, okay, that one's done. Now let's go in with this one that says lots of hugs. Everybody loves lots of hugs, at least most of us do. And let's put that right there. And let's kind of stamp one off of the page right there. And maybe right here. Okay, that was lots of hugs. And now we've got this one that says, have a fabulous birthday. And I'm just going to try to stamp this in here once or twice. It doesn't have to be all over the place. Let's stamp it like right there. Maybe a little bit of it right there off of the page. And maybe right here off of the page. And now I have one more thing that I want to put on there, and we're going to fill in any of our little spaces that's not quite filled up. We're going to fill it in with this little star. Let me clean up just a tiny bit. So now I'm just going to put this little star in, and I'm just going to go in just wherever I see some open spacing, and I am going to drop the star in. You know, you want this to be busy because, I mean, it's a birthday. Everybody loves a birthday card. And that's something we're going to be concentrating on too after the first of the year, along with techniques. I'm going to put a star on that balloon. You know why? Because I can. Okay, I think we're done with this, and I love the way it turned out. Let me scrub off some of my stamps over here. I know a lot of people, they get real upset when their stamps stain and they can't get the stain out. As long as they're clean, I don't worry about the stain. A stain stamp is a love stamp, so if you use a stamp a lot, it's going to get a stain. It's just the nature of stamping. So anytime, and by the way, I love this Nouveau ink. I have this red in my store because when I ordered the red, I just went ahead and got some from my store as well. But I am going to be placing another order soon, and I am going to get some of those. I want the black, because how many times do we want to use our VersaFine? This ink stamps really, really well. I'm real impressed with it. So anything that I'm impressed with and I love, I carry in my store. So I always like to be able to recommend good products to y'all, and I will only carry what I love to use myself. So just thought I would throw that out there and let you know. Alright, there's another front made, and let's get these back on our stamp backer. And let's see, that one goes like that. And let's get our balloon. And lots of hugs. And we got our little star. And we have our candle. And I think that was all of those. Yep. Alright, let's see what other colors of paper we have. Alright, we're going to go back to the green. I do want to show you how cute this looks. And let me put some of these other inks back so I'm not pulling out all of them and have them all here in our way. And I'm going to grab, let's see, Rainforest or Green Oasis. Shady Lane. I'm looking at my different colors to see which one I want to stamp on here. And I'm thinking the Green Oasis is the one I want to do. Or do I want Rainforest? I'm so indecisive when it comes to... I think I want that one. Okay. Now I am going to go back to that relic stamp set again. And the reason is I have done this green in that stamp before, and it does turn out beautiful. But this time I'm going to start off with just one. And I'm going to start with this bigger piece. If I can get it to adhere to my stamp block. There we go. And I'm going to ink this up really good. And I'm going to stamp maybe like here. And maybe one here. And then I'm going to go to a different one. Let's do some of our splats. I know I love the splat. I think this one's so much fun. It looks like if you were painting and oops, you dropped a splat of paint off of the paintbrush. This is like one of my favorites. And look how pretty that green on green looks. I really do love the way that looks. Okay, and now let's see. Let's get this textured one right here. And we can load it up on this block. And this one I'm turning it, as you see, I'm just going to turn it in different directions, on and off. And that's good with that one. And let's see, let's do this one. My stamps adhere to my glass mat so well they don't want to pull up from the glass to my stamp block. I'm sure y'all saw that. So, okay, I'm going to do one more. This one might be a good one. Do some splats over here and there. And then I'm going to come back with a couple of the smaller ones and just kind of splat those in as well. I'm going to take this one off and load this one on. And this is just going to be little splats every here and there. And there we go. What do you think? I love this, and you know how we're always struggling to make masculine cards? This right here makes a beautiful masculine card. So, like I said, I've done this before, and I love the outcome of that particular one. So, let's clean up my mess. I should have called myself the messy crafter. But then aren't we all messy when it comes to crafting? And I'm constantly cleaning up my mess as I go, and sometimes not even as I go. Sometimes I'll get just a mess in front of me, and after I finish my project, I will clean everything up before I head on to the next one. So let's put this one here. Let's see. We have one more. Alrighty. So now I have a red piece of paper, and I thought, how cute would it be? This is one of May's newer stamp sets, and it's Snow Buddies, and I think this is so stinking cute. I want to use some of the smaller images and just kind of stamp here and there. Now this stamp has not been used, but I think this is going to be so cute. And I'm trying to decide, do I want to do red on red or do I want to do a contrast? And I really think I want to do a contrast. I can't decide if I want to do white. How cute would that be in white? I think I'm going to do white. Oh, these are just so stinking cute. I love these images. And we have some snow, so we're going to do both of our Snow Buddies. Oops, I picked this one back up. Okay, and we're going to do some snow. This one, and this one, and this one. And I do think I want to do this one in white. I know, I'm being brave. But we're going to use the alabaster. This Brutus Monroe alabaster ink is so pretty. If I can get it open. I always make sure I snap my lids very tight on my ink. There we go. Alrighty, so let's load up some of my little images. This one's cute, and we might need a little bit bigger one for him. And then we got several small ones. And this little package right here is so cute. It looks like a little present. Is that the one? Yes. Sometimes you have to get these, you know, against a solid background so you can actually see what they are. But that's the present. Let's start out with the present. Oh yes, I love it. Okay, still have our snow we haven't loaded up yet, but I want to do the little bird. And before we get too carried away, we need one of our Snow Buddies. I might only use this smaller one because we don't have a lot of room on our paper. So we're going to put her there. And maybe here. I wonder if we got room for him. Maybe right here. We're going to try it. cute. We did have room for him. Now I'm going to go back with the little bird. Well, I hadn't done him yet, but we're going to put him here and there and everywhere, because we're just going to be doing a little filling here. I'm just going to load up these snows like this, I think. No, I need them to be on a separate block. So let's kick one of these off, and I'm going to lay that one right there. Oops. And then I'm just going to take the little snowflakes, and I'm going to just all through the paper, I am going to dab some little snowflakes. I hope that y'all will pull out your paper and some of your stamps and try this for yourself. I think you will love the outcome, and I think it will really spark you to want to try this and do something different. So I want to do this one. And I think that's done. Isn't that cute? How pretty was that going to be as a background for a Christmas card? Or not even Christmas, that could be a winter card, because, you know, snowmen, actually probably you have more snowmen in January and February than you do in December, because it's, those are usually our colder months. So let's clean off a little bit of ink. And close up my ink pad. And now the gruesome work of getting these put back on. This is always the hardest. We got it. I love the stamp set. It is so cute. I love these little characters. They have so much personality. I think May outdid herself with this one. I've really liked the stamp sets that she's been doing lately. They have been lovely, and I've enjoyed them. Let's see, this one might go right here. And our big snow buddy, I've got a little present somewhere. And I think that completes this stamp set, getting everything back where it belonged. Alright, I think that y'all have gotten the gist of this, and I think we did enough of these that you are grasping the concept of making your own background paper. So look at the difference of these different ones. I think they turned out really pretty, and I think you would have so much fun making these. So why don't y'all give it a try? Pull out your papers and some of your stamps and your inks and just start stamping. It's so much fun, and when you're finished, you have these beautiful card fronts that you can go ahead and start decorating and put on a card base, and the next thing you know, you've got a beautiful thinking of you card, or a Happy Father's Day, or Happy Mother's Day, Happy New Year's. There are all kinds of ways that we can use our stamps and have a different effect with all of them. Now, as you can see, this was all the same technique, all done a little different. See, that one is totally different than this one, but all the same, beautiful. Look at our tone on tone. I love it. And this was a little bit of a contrast with the red on the blue. This was a green on green, which is beautiful. And then look at our little winter scene with our snowflakes and our little snow buddies. I love it. I think they turned out beautiful. So why don't y'all give it a try. Let me know how it turns out, and God bless you always. Merry, Merry Christmas. I can't say that enough. Let's put Christ back into Christmas, and let's celebrate. The reason for the season was the gift that God gave us in His only Son. So, as I always say in parting, be kind to someone, show your love, give someone a smile today, even if you don't feel like smiling. Give somebody that encouraging look. You never know what they're going through. Let everything you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. And until we craft again, I love you all. Bye-bye.